Good morning, everybody. You are all welcome to the semi-final Edu TV Nigerian debate. My golden name is Temitope Olujido, and I'm going to be your moderator for today. Thank you all. Before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge the CEO of Edu TV Nigeria in person of Mr. Femi Oluwaleimu. A round of applause for him. Also, we have the esteemed judges with us. The chief judge in person of Mr. Olani Ikende. Let's celebrate him. You can do more than that. Let's celebrate him. The co-judges also, we have Mrs. Mayokun Awoniyi. Let's celebrate her. Then, the person in charge of the time moderator, we have Mrs. Blessing Oluwaleimu. Let's celebrate her. Then the person in charge of camera, we have Mr. Afolabi John. Let's clap for him. So, 2 schools are involved in today's debate, and those schools are Trove Secondary School and Canaan Glory Academic Institute. Let's celebrate those schools. So we have a staff from Trove Secondary School in person of Miss Shiamaka. A round of applause for her. Staffs from Canaan Glory, we have Mrs. Adeyemi. Let's celebrate her. With her, we also have Mr. Abolarewa. Let's celebrate her. Let's celebrate him. Thank you all. Then the participants from each school. From Trove Secondary School, we have Angela Oluwa Shola Dada. Let's celebrate her. Also, we have Esther Komolafe. Let's celebrate her also. The participants from Canaan Glory School, we have Oluwayemi Deborah. Let's celebrate her. The supporting speaker, we have Adejola Oriowo. Let's celebrate her. So thank you, everyone. I'll be handing it to the chief judge now for the rest. Wish you best luck.
Good morning once again, everyone. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this debate session. I am Olani Ikende Olamide, and I have the privilege to be the chief judge for today's debate session. And as judges, we have the role to remain neutral, attentive, and to assess the speakers for today's debate and give our assessments after they have all put forth their arguments. And also, we have criteria that would be employed in judging each and every one of you. We have before us the content, which comprises of the understanding of the topic. I mean, if you as the speaker fully grasp or understand the topic and you provide relevant information for it. And also, we have the arguments and evidence, we have your rebuttals, and we are also looking out for your originality in the points that you present. Also, in your delivery, we are looking forward to see your confidence and poise as you bring forth your arguments, not only to make points, but to see how you put them forth with confidence. We are looking also for your voice clarity and audibility, so please make your voice clear so that we can hear you and assess rightly. We wouldn't want to make a wrong judgment based on inaudibility. We are also looking out for your fluency. We know you have been groomed, and you wouldn't come out here to speak without being fluent. And the third, we have the organization, which comprises of the structure, your flow of ideas, and you would notice that we have our time moderator on the table also. She's a judge, and she'll be judging your timing. And on that note, we have 7 minutes allocated to each chief speaker, 5 minutes to each second speaker, and for the rebuttals, we have 3 minutes allotted to you. Please, as you all speak, let's endeavor to keep it civil, because in this debate, we are looking out to see how students, as you are seated here, put forth their opinions and help us see the points they are making in the light of their own environment. I mean, that's what we are looking out for majorly, because that's kind of your originality. So it wouldn't be just putting forth arguments that don't have, that's not relatable. So let it be civil. Don't attack your opponent. You don't need to attack the opponent. You only need to attack the opponent's arguments, please. And in your rebuttals, please do well to bring forth points that counter or bring forth points that would be able to refute your opponent's points, so that at the end we would get to the points you want us to see for the opposing side, for the supporting side. You would help us to see right and make our judgment. So on that note, I declare this debate session open. Thank you all for coming. So we have the chief speaker from the supporting school. Please come forward for your... Please, a round of applause. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, honorable panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, and my fellow debaters. I am Uluayemi Deborah, representing Canaan Glory School. I stand before you with confidence and conviction to support the motion, Nigeria secondary school students should be allowed to vote. What do we call a vote? A vote is a formal expression of choice or opinion made by an individual or a group, typically in the context of electing representatives. Voting allows citizens to participate in the democratic process. It gives them a voice in choosing their leaders and shaping the laws that govern them. Nigeria is a democratic nation, and democracy thrives on inclusion. Secondary school students, many of whom are aged 16 to 18 years old, they are informed, intelligent, and deeply affected by the decisions of the government. Let us remember, age does not determine wisdom. Age doesn't determine wisdom, but exposure and awareness do. To deny us right to vote is to silence an entire generation that is already part of the national conversation. Students are thinkers, learners, and voices of today, not the shadows of the future. Now that I've established why this motion matters deeply, allow me to present the key reasons why Nigeria secondary school students should be allowed to vote. Firstly, intelligence and awareness are not bound by age. In today's digital and computer age, secondary school students are not all informed. We are active learners engaging in the world around us. We think and we analyze political history in government. We debate national policies in civic education. We are the stakeholders of today. Give us the vote and we will not waste it. We will own it. To say that we are too young is to pretend we do not think. To say that we are not ready is to ignore our voice. But we think, we learn, we grow, and deserve to be heard. We also have political decisions. When government fails to fund education, who suffers? We do. When poor infrastructure affects our routes and our schools? Who walks long distances on dangerous routes? We do. Then why should the people most affected by leadership decisions be excluded from choosing those leaders? Wait, judges, let me ask, is voting about age? No, voting is not just about age. Voting is about stake, and we as students have the highest stake in the nation's future. We also have civic responsibility. Let's not wait till students turn 18 to begin engaging them. Let's raise active citizens and not passive observers. By voting early, we teach young people the value of participation, power of choice, and weight of responsibility. For example, countries like Argentina, Brazil, Austria allow voting at 16. And what's the result? It's brought about more politically aware and responsible youth. Nigeria can follow this forward-thinking example of mine to strengthen a democratic future. Give us the vote, and we will not misuse it. We also have democracy. Democracy is the strongest when more people are included. Allowing secondary school students to vote expands participation and ensures that young voices are heard. Voices that represent the next generation of leaders, entrepreneurs, teachers, innovators, and so on. Allowing secondary school students to vote nurtures a generation that is active to politics, and in the process, reducing the rate of what we call political apathy and replacing it with political engagement. Honorable judges, esteemed audience, why should the motion Nigeria secondary school students should be allowed to vote stand firm like a flag in the wind of the truth? Because we are not just the leaders of tomorrow, we are the stakeholders of today. Decisions made by government, by presidents, governors, senators, and lawmakers affect the decisions we make, the schools we attend, the futures we dream of. If we are impacted by this leadership decision, then we deserve a say in who makes them. There are some proverbs that our headers always say. Honorable judges, permit me to say two of them in Yoruba. We have Omodegbon, Agbagbon, Lafida Leife, which means a child is wise, and elder is wise. It is with combined wisdom that the city of Leife was founded. We also have Owomode Kotupepe, Tagbalagba Kowo Kirigbe, which means a child's hand cannot reach the top of a shelf, and an elder's hand cannot enter a narrow net guard. The two proverbs that said implies that we always need one another. No age group holds all wisdom alone. You may say that students are too young and immature, but have you forgotten that not all maturity counts with age? Maturity is measured with knowledge and awareness. And some people say that students will get easily manipulated or influenced. But why have I said this opinion? The thing is, secondary school students cannot get manipulated because they are also adults who get manipulated with money and empty promises. They are adults who set their vote blindly, or do not even understand the issues at stake. And some people also say that voting will distract students from academics. Let me remind you that voting is not an everyday activity. It is done periodically and not during school hours or exam. Let us not lock them out of the decisions that will define their tomorrow. Let's give them a seat at the table and a voice in the ballot. Take, for example, Faith Odunsi, who at the age of 16 won the Global Open Mathematics Tournament, surpassing students from across the world. If a student can excel academically on a global stage, then why should we question their ability to make informed decisions in the national election? If a student can debate about the world's most pressing issues, then why not let them contribute to the political decisions? Honorable judges, esteemed audience, it is time to stop underestimating the potentials of the young Nigeria. The right to vote is not just a privilege, it's a power that should not be denied to those people who are aware and educated. We are aware, and we have the highest stake in the nation's future. In conclusion, I'm speaking on behalf of all the secondary school students and on the behalf of my opponents too, that you should not doubt us, trust us, do not silence us, empower us. I urge you all to see not just who we are now, but what we can become and the good impact we make when we are trusted. Thank you.
The chief speaker from the opposing side, please step forward.
Secondary school students in Nigeria should not be allowed to vote because they lack the independence and civil readiness that is required to make decisions that determines the future of a nation. Standing before you today is Kamala Fester, a year 8 student of Treasure Trove School, and I rise today with fire, with facts, and with full force to strongly oppose the notion which says secondary school students in Nigeria should be allowed to vote. Voting is not about emotion, it is about responsibility. Voting is not a birthday gift. It is not a right to earn by existing. It is a sacred responsibility that should be given only to those prepared to carry its weight. Let's face it, most secondary school students in Nigeria are still learning how to manage mood swing, peer pressures, and even crushes. Now tell me, if you're still asking your parents permission to go out, should you be allowed to decide the future of over 200 million people? Moving on, teenagers are brilliant but are easily influenced. We live in a world where reality is filtered, not just on Instagram, but in our minds. Teenagers today don't just scroll through information, they are soaked in it. You go on TikTok now, a flashy influencer posts a picture with a politician, and you think, wow, this candidate is going viral. Have you read their policies? Have you fact-checked their record? Have you question their promises? Sadly, many students don't. Not because they are lazy, but because they are wired to follow what's popular. So, I ask, should the fate of Nigeria be decided on reposts, retweets, and reels, or by reason, experience, and careful thoughts? Also, secondary school students should be learning leadership, not practicing policies. You see, I believe in young people. I believe you're the future, the heartbeat of tomorrow. But even the strongest seed must be buried, planted, and protected before it becomes a tree. Voting isn't a child's play. It is not an extension we use for our sport. It is not about red house or blue house. It is not about who is fresh or who has the drip. It is about choosing the people who will control our hospitals, build our roads, command our military, and maybe decide whether there will be war or not. I am not here to insult any student because I'm one too, but the best leaders know when to wait and when to act. Let us prepare, not pretend. Let us grow, not rush. Let us rise, not rebel, because let the future voters be trained, not thrown into the flame of politics too soon. I stand by truth, I stand by reason, and I stand against this motion. Thank you.
The second speaker from the supporting school, please step up.
Standing on the existing protocols, my name is Ero Adejola Philip. I am a representative of Canaan International Academic Institute. I am here today to support the motion that secondary school students should be allowed to vote in Nigeria. The right to vote is a fundamental aspect of democracy, allowing individuals to have a say in leadership and governance of the country. Traditionally, voting is restricted only to adults based on the assumption that their maturity and life experience is necessary for making an informed decision. However, things have changed. Secondary school students are more politically aware and educated than ever before. Allowing them to vote will further strengthen democracy by increasing youth engagement, ensuring fair representation, and promoting responsibility in governance. Additionally, with access to information through the social media, internet, and school education, young people are well informed about political issues, government policy, and national concern. They actively participate in discussions about leadership, governance, and societal challenges. Denying them the right to vote contradicts the very principle of democracy, which is built on the idea that all voices should be heard. Although people argue that secondary school students lack the maturity to vote responsibly, however, many adults do not necessarily make well-informed voting choices either. They base their decision on emotion, personal biases, and misleading information rather than objective analysis of leadership and policy. Secondary school students, on the other hand, receive structured civic education, teaching them the importance of governance and responsible decision-making. If adults can vote, despite sometimes lacking political literacy, why should intelligent and well-informed young people be excluded? Furthermore, many government policies directly impact their lives. Education reform, climatic policy, healthcare decision, and even economic planning by shaping their future. Yet they have no say in electing the leader, making this decision. If democracy is truly about representation, then the voices of all secondary school students must be included. After all, their future depends on this policy, and it's only fair that they contribute in choosing the leader responsible for implementing them. Giving voting rights to secondary school students, we have instill a sense of responsibility and civic duty at an early age. Other than treating democracy as something only adults should engage in, young participation will help build a culture of active citizenship. If young people are allowed to vote, they will learn the value of their choices. They will learn to take elections seriously, learn the value of their choices, and develop a habit of evaluating leaders based on their policy rather than their popularity. The sooner people engage in democratic processes, the more likely they are to remain informed and responsible voters throughout their lives. Many countries have successfully introduced young participation in politics through advisory boards, youth council, and policy discussion. If students can contribute to governmental decisions in this aspect, why should they not be allowed to cast their vote? Some nations have even lowered their voting age to include young people in shaping their democracy. This step has led to increase in youth engagement, ensuring increase in youth engagement, fresh perspectives and policies that reflect the need of younger generation. If this has worked in other places, there is no reason why secondary school students should not be given the same opportunity. Education plays a crucial role in preparing students for responsible voting. School can implement programs that teaches political literacy, critical thinking, and policy evaluation. Instead of dismissing secondary school students as too young to vote, the society should focus on equipping them with tools to make well-informed decisions. A well-informed young voter can make decisions just as valid as those of an adult. The idea that voting should only be reserved for adults is outdated. Modern students are intelligent, aware, and capable of making thoughtful choices. Allowing them to vote will enrich democracy by including fresh perspectives and policy, increasing youth engagement, and ensuring fair representation for a significant sector of the population. Every vote counts, and young people should not be excluded from a process that directly affects their future. Encouraging young participation in election is a necessary step towards a truly representative and inclusive democratic system. In conclusion, the future belongs to the youth, and their voices deserve to shape it. A vote is not just a right, it's a responsibility, a chance to create a change and a step towards a brighter tomorrow. Youth is not an obstacle to wisdom. Let their voices rise, let their choices count, for a nation flourishes when all its people are ahead. A democracy without its youth is just like a garden without a seed. Strong, capable, and full of potential, secondary school students deserve the right to shape the world they will inherit. Let the society rise in support of the secondary school students so that their future can be secured. Thank you.
The second speaker from the opposing school, please.
Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Sharadada Angela Olua, a year 8 student of Trove schools. I would also like to firmly and intelligently oppose the notion which states that secondary school students in Nigeria should be allowed to vote. This notion is not only premature, but it is also a recipe for political chaos. Voting is not just some prize you receive for growing taller or passing your exams. It is a civic responsibility, a worthy act that can influence economies, policies, and lives. Let's be honest, what real life responsibility does secondary school students currently carry? They don't pay taxes or earn an income. They are still under the legal care of their parents or guardian. How can a 14-year-old who still ask for money on a Monday morning be expected to evaluate who to vote for? Secondary school students do not yet have the emotional maturity to handle making informed decisions at the polls. For example, how can a 12-year-old who is still deciding whether to put mayonnaise or butter on their bread be expected to know whether to vote for Mr. A or Mr. B? And secondary school students do not yet have enough life experiences to understand the complexities of governance and policy making. Secondly, if secondary school students should start voting, there's a potential for manipulation. Students may be swayed by their teachers, parents, or even their peers, leading to biased voting decisions. Additionally, implementing voting on secondary schools can be complex and resource intensive. This means that, for example, if a student is still in school struggling with his or her work, how are they expected to be able to understand the complexities of governance? Clearly, the primary focus of students should be their education rather than participating in electoral processes. Furthermore, secondary school students are more susceptible to emotional appeals. This means that instead of making informed decisions based on facts, they can make these impulsive decisions without considering its consequences. Many policy making are complex, requiring a deep understanding, which secondary school students do not yet possess. This means that they do not yet understand some issues and perspectives. Instead of implementing voting on secondary schools, there are a lot of other factors that we can consider, like mock election simulations and implementing civic education on secondary schools. Ultimately, although implementing voting on secondary schools sounds appealing, there are a lot of factors that should be considered, like lack of maturity, potential for manipulation, lack of resources, and so much more. Mr. Chairman, democracy is precious. Don't let us water it down by handing it over to those who still live in the world of school bells. Bring your parents to school and uniforms. Let's prepare them for the world tomorrow and not force them to vote today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll be having the reporters now. From the supporting side, please. 3 minutes.
Standing on the existing protocol, my opponent, the first speaker, said students are easily influenced. Like I've said earlier, students, wait, you may say that students are easily influenced, but wait, have you forgotten the adults? That they are also manipulated with money and empty promises. They say they vote blindly, and they're even biased. They don't, and you also see that they don't pay taxes. But let me tell you that students that pay taxes exist. And the second speaker from the opponent side, she said that students are too young and immature. Like I've said earlier, students, wait, maturity is not determined by age. Maturity is measured with knowledge, awareness, exposure, and wisdom, not age. And you can see that students are not mature because what is not about age, it's about stake. And the students in Nigeria have the highest stake in the nation's future. You also see that the weight of responsibility. But let me tell you that allowing secondary school students to vote early, we teach them the value of participation, power of choice, and to learn to bear the weight of responsibility. It nurtures a generation that will make them active to politics. And let political engagement exist in the country. I hope I'm able to convince, not confuse you, that Nigeria secondary school students should be allowed to vote. Thank you.
From the opposing side, please.
My co-debater mentioned that maturity is not by age, but I mentioned earlier, they do not yet have enough life experiences to understand the complexities of governance. For example, would you compare a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old man who has gone through lots of things in life with a 12-year-old's knowledge? And also, she said voting is not an everyday thing. That is true, but there are lots of processes before voting, like campaigns and all of that. That can distract the students from focusing on their studies because they are trying to figure out whether to vote for this person or this person, and that is bad for them. Thank you.
You can do better, please. You can do better. All right. We have come to the end of the debate session from the speakers who have been chosen to represent their schools. From the audience also, we would like if anyone has a contribution to make to the points, either to support or to oppose the motion, you can step forward, please. All right.
Still standing on existing protocol, my name is Olanrewaju and you're a representative of Canaan Glory International Academic Institute. Adding to what my mate said, and adding to what my opponent said, it increases voters' turnout. By allowing senior secondary school students to participate in election, increases voters' participation and makes sure more voices are heard during our democracy. This will make election results more representative of the people's will. Others may also argue that students don't pay taxes. It is true, we don't pay taxes, but does that mean retirees and jobless citizens should not vote? Voting is a right of a citizen and not a payment of taxes. Conclusively, secondary school students are not just the leaders of tomorrow, they are also the stakeholders of today. They are educated, capable enough of making informed choices and affected by political decision. Denying them the right to vote is denying democracy its full power. For these reasons and more, I strongly support the motion that secondary school students should be allowed to vote. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Do we have anyone else coming to oppose or support the motion? Well, I would like to motivate each and every one of you seated in the audience. This is a topic that is peculiar to you all. It's not something strange. It has been going on for years. Or recently, maybe when we came into this Gen Z era, and everyone wants to have a say. So if you are not speaking out now, I mean from the audience, if you are not coming out to make your own opinion, then I don't know what is going to make us believe that it is or it is not. So anyone from the audience? No one is coming up? I can't believe this. No one is coming up. All right then, let's have him. Please, a round of applause.
Standing on the existing protocol. My name is Jordan David, a representative of Canaan Glory Academic Institute. To start with, when we allow students to be exposed to voting at a young age, it gives them more experience. So when they grow better in life and get to that stage where they need to implement what they've learned at young age, it will further help them to be able to make right decisions in the future. For example now, someone at, let's say, 30 or 35 just got to politics and doesn't have basic knowledge while he or she was young, wouldn't be able to say that this is the way I should go. But since we've been introduced to it earlier and younger, we'll be able to grab it and be able to make better decisions, which will further foster our country's progress. And now, democracy. It is not just a right for students to vote. It is, by giving them the opportunity to vote, it makes them to be able to think better in academics, to be able to make right decisions, which will help them better in life, to be able to think tactically and make right decisions in life. With my few points, I hope I've been able to convince you that we should allow that secondary school students should be granted the opportunity to vote in elections. Thank you.
thank you for coming up. Before we announce, wait, is there anyone coming up? Is there anyone else? Okay. Before we announce the results from our assessments, I would like to say some things, and I know would listen. But before I make my own recommendations and corrections, I would be giving the podium to my co-judge to make our recommendations. Please, a round of applause for us.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You've all done well, and I appreciate you for that. But before we announce the results, I have some few things here. I have some corrections to make. The first is this. In the debate session, thank you, sir. In a debate session, in your vocatives, before you start, that is the vocatives. And we have my fellow debaters and not debaters. There's nothing like debaters, it is debaters. And also, when you are in a debate session, you don't make use of firstly, secondly, thirdly. No, it is wrong in the debate session. You make use of linking words. Linking words are more acceptable in the debate section, like moreover, furthermore, and so on and so forth. Those are linking words, not firstly, secondly, thirdly. No. You can also make use of first, second, instead of your firstly, secondly. Please take notes of that. And also, one of the debaters gave a proverb, and she said, Ọmọdégbọ́n, àgbàgbọ́n la fi dá Ilé Ifẹ̀. It is not Ọmọdégbọ́n, àgbàgbọ́n la fi dá Ilé Ifẹ̀. It is la fi dá Ilé Ifẹ̀. Then she also said, on behalf of my opponents, she said on the behalf of my opponents. It is not on the behalf of my opponents, it is on behalf of my opponents. Please always take notes of this. And one of the speakers also said, the motion which says, a motion cannot talk. A motion is not a person. So it is the motion which states, not says. Are we together? A motion which states and not says. Then she also said, what should be given? There's difference between giving and given. When we talk of giving, giving with ing is a continuous form of verb. But when we talk of given, it is a participle form of verb. So in this context, it should be what should be given and not what should be given. Please take notes of that. Okay, the chief speaker from the opposing school, it's as if she didn't master lines well. She was skipping. She didn't master her lines well, and she didn't acknowledge the panel of judges. In a debate, you have to acknowledge the panel of judges. The moderator, the accurate timekeeper, and so on and so forth. That is your vocative. So you must acknowledge the panel of judges in any debate session you find yourself. So it is the second speaker that can now stand on the existing protocol. The second speaker doesn't need to acknowledge by saying, good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges. You just need to do what? Stand on the existing protocol. The protocol that has been in place by the first speaker. So let me go to the second speaker from the affirmative school. He didn't manage the stage well. I must say that. He didn't manage the stage well. In a debate session, you have to move around. Let there be life in whatever you are doing. So you need to manage your stage well, not that we just stand on a spot. You don't stand on a spot in a debate session. You need to move around. Then let there be actions. Put some actions. Let there be life in whatever you have to say. And it looks like you cram your points. Your points were crammed. So on this, I think I will be resting my case and giving the mic to the Chief Judge. Thank you.
Is that for the judge? Please, a round of applause. Okay, so you've heard from her, and please put in mind these recommendations so that at another time, when you are to present a debate or present your arguments, you don't fall into that same error. From my hand here, she has said most of what I want to say now, but I'm not going to make repetitions. Just take note of the notion doesn't state that the notion. And one thing I always say is when you are speaking, let's know where your punctuations are. You are not writing your speech, and we don't have a speech translator. We don't have an AI that would translate your speech to text. Can you hear me? Thank you. So please, let's know. For example, I can say, is it coming to school? That even sounds like a question. Is it coming to school? So that's better. Like the intonation should go up because you're asking a question. He is coming to school. It comes down. Please. Thank you. And also, when one of you was making his arguments, his points, he said, teaching is not teaching. It's not teaching. It is teaching. It's the ch sound, not the sh sound. Do you get that? It's teaching. And also, you called future. Future. Someone also said chairman. It's not chairman. It's chair. It's chair. Chairman. Man. Do we get it? Also, someone said, okay, let's not say someone said now. I would just like to correct the errors. It was mentioned in one of the arguments, you said education. It's education, not education. And also, I think we have grown accustomed to the fact that we call election. We listen to it on the TV, election. It's not election, it's election. It's the same sound with example. I heard someone also say, for example. It's for example. It's also the word or the sound that comes for that alphabet E when you call excuses. It's not excuses, it's excuses. Hope we learned. Good. So, on that note, yes, I would like to make a recommendation. Please and please, your confidence, I don't know where you guys are putting it. I myself, I'm not a very confident person. I think, well, you could try more to practice. You know, that's the main reason why I would not give you or send to your schools the topics today and ask you to present tomorrow. No. That's why we leave spaces or times for preparations in between. Please practice, 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 practice. I'm not very confident myself. I say it. I'm not an introvert. I flow when there is the need to flow. You know, there are times for inspiration. You just speak and like, am I the one speaking? Well, it's you. But you just need to instigate it at some point. Because I was not kind of, like, you were not kind of clear. You were not clear enough for me. I didn't hear your points well. You were not articulate enough. And you know, at the university level, we get to school and we say, articulate baba. At a point, articulate baba means speak out. My university counterparts, I'm done with my school, but my university counterparts will know what I'm saying. People who have been there will know what I'm saying. So at this secondary level, there's nobody to gyrate you or gyrate with you or do stuff like that. But you must motivate yourself to speak out loud when you are in a public setting, so that when we can hear you, we can appreciate more the fact that you are speaking and making your points audible and it's making sense. I hope I'm clear. Thank you. So on that note, the judges have come to a conclusion, and the two schools have done quite well. Please, a round of applause again. Yes. From the table, Canaan Glory has 62.5 points. A round of applause, please. And Treasure Trove Secondary School has 66 points. A round of applause, please. Thank you. So now, as we conclude this session, I want you all to know that there are no winners and there are no losers at Edu TV. We have that policy, that culture, that we are all to be educated, or educated, if I would speak it right. So that in the end or at the end, we all receive the value, the expected value and impact in our educational endeavors. So please, a round of applause for everyone again. Thank you.
She made mention of, one of the judges, you made mention of something that while they are debating, they can't say firstly, secondly, thirdly. Though what I want to ask is a little bit out of, but I feel you should be able to guide us because of the scholars that are here. When they are writing a letter, can they use firstly, secondly, or thirdly, or do they use first, second, and third? Thank you.
Firstly, secondly, even in the letter, be it a letter or any kind of essay, you make use of first, second, third, and not firstly, secondly, or thirdly. Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, I would like to dabble into that a bit. She has made a point, and it's right. It's recommended. So if you want to use it, that is the recommendation. not necessarily what you should use at all times. But if you look into it, you see that English is a fast-changing language. So we follow the trends. We are not the owners of the language, so we follow the trends. We increase our knowledge or our knowledge base over the years, and then we get to a point. When we get to that point, if there is any change, then we move ahead with it. So that's a recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In a normal setting, those words used as connectives are informal. Now, this is a formal setting. It's a debate. Even in essay writing, firstly, secondly is already a cliche. It's not used. Do you understand, students? Rather, please, let's embrace the use of connectives. Those adjoining words, like firstly, secondly, invariably, or in a nutshell and the likes. We have different types of connectives. The one for addition, for substitutions, and the likes. So those are the connectives we are meant to use, not firstly, secondly, thirdly, and the likes. It is informal. And in a formal setup like this, it should not be what? Be encouraged among students. Do we understand? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, all. Please, once again, I want you to give them a round of applause for this is what at Edu TV there is no loser, so they are all winners, and we want to appreciate them. Of course, please, can I have the Canaan Glory participants here? Let's give them a round of applause. They are all right, thank you very much. So I would like to. All right, so it means Trove will be proceeding to the final round, which is coming up next week. Wednesday. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. We really acknowledge the participants from each school. Let's celebrate them. Also, let's celebrate ourselves. So we're having 5 minutes short break. Then we'll see you later. Thank you.